Ever find yourself feeling, just overwhelmed by life, maybe bogged down by stress or financial worries, or maybe you've got this big dream that feels constantly just out of reach, like you want more joy, less fear. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into Gabrielle Bernstein's Super Attractor. And this isn't just about wishful thinking, it's really a practical guide. It's about aligning your energy. Think of it like tuning your inner frequency, to match the positive outcomes you want, and really co-creating with the universe. Our mission here is simple. Pull out the most important nuggets from this guide, help you tap into what she calls an infinite source of abundance, energy, joy, all that good stuff. We'll look at actionable insights, maybe some surprising shifts in thinking that can genuinely transform things for you. By the end, you should have a clearer roadmap to becoming what Gabby calls a magnet for miracles. Sound good? Let's jump in. Okay, let's start with the foundation. Gabby, as a super attractor, talks a lot about connecting with a higher power, a non-physical presence. For someone maybe new to this or even a bit skeptical, what exactly does she mean by that? And why is this connection so, central?
Right. And what's really interesting here is how flexible that term is. You can call it the universe, God, spirit, inner guidance, or even just your highest self. The name itself isn't the crucial part. What matters is your personal connection, how you communicate with it. Bernstein suggests things like prayer, meditation, practicing appreciation. These are key ways to tap into this sort of unlimited positive presence. It's really about building that relationship, whatever feels right for you, and seeing it as this active, supportive force in your life.
Okay, so it's less about specific rules, more about finding an authentic connection. And the book promises we can learn to, shed fear, anger, jealousy, replace them with positive energies. That sounds huge. A really big shift, especially when we're caught in negative thought patterns, right?
Yeah.
So what's a practical first step when you're just feeling completely stuck in negativity? I mean, many of us deal with consuming stress or difficult times, maybe crippling debt even. You feel like you're drowning, and our thoughts can get obsessive, right? We think the more we worry, the more control we have. But Gabby suggests something different. This is where she introduces the 3-step choose again method.
Yeah, and this method, it's really designed to help you get back into alignment, especially when that fear-based thinking disconnects you from, let's call it the universe's support, its ability to offer creative solutions. It's about becoming receptive again, even when things feel chaotic. So step 1 is simply notice the thought. If you're spiraling in negativity, just consciously take a step back. Ask yourself, okay, how do I feel right now? And she suggests writing it down, journaling it. Because the more you let fear dominate, the further you push away potential solutions.
Just noticing, okay.
Then step 2, forgive the thought. And this is important. Forgive yourself for having the thought, for being misaligned. Celebrate that you even want to shift. Gabby suggests actually thanking the negative feelings.
Thanking them. That seems counterintuitive.
Right. But it's like, thank you for showing me what I don't want so I can get clearer on what I do want.
Yeah.
You could write in your journal, thank you for revealing what I don't want so I can clarify what I do want. It's this act of forgiveness that releases the past, opens you up to grace in the present.
Okay, forgive the thought, thank it for clarity. Then what?
And step 3 is to choose again. So back in your journal, answer this. What is the best feeling thought I can find right now? Then you ask the universe for help. Maybe a simple prayer like, thank you, universe, for guiding my thoughts toward good feeling emotions. And the key here, she stresses, is realism.
Realism.
Yeah. Don't try to force yourself to believe like, I'm completely debt-free tomorrow, if that feels totally impossible. Instead, choose something believable, something possible. Like maybe I'm open to creative possibilities for abundance. That belief, that feeling of possibility in your chosen thought, that's crucial for it to work.
Okay. I'm open to creative possibilities for abundance. That feels doable, accessible. It's like announcing you're ready for something different without needing a huge leap of faith immediately. Why is that realistic aspect so important here? We're often told to dream big, right?
We are. But it's about building belief incrementally. If you try to jump from deep despair straight to pure ecstasy, your mind just won't buy it. It feels fake. A realistic, better-feeling thought creates a gentle, believable shift in your energy. And that's something the universe can respond to. It's like taking the next best step on the emotional ladder, not trying to vault over 10 rungs at once. That subtle shift builds real momentum.
Got it. So it's about believable steps. Okay, the choose again method helps reset when negativity grabs hold. But what if the resistance is deeper? What if, like unconsciously, we're actually afraid to feel good, even if we say we want positive change?
That's a really common block, and it's profound. We sometimes, weirdly, feel safer wrapped up in fear. Maybe it feels like protection against disappointment or getting hurt again, or society sometimes tells us, happiness is a reward for suffering, or maybe we just feel unworthy deep down. Bernstein really pushes back on that. She insists good things can come easily. We are worthy of receiving them without having to, earn them through struggle.
So how do we start dismantling that resistance? How do we actually allow ourselves to feel good?
Right. You have to consciously open yourself up to what she calls the universal energy of love. And she gives strategies. One is the think it to feel it method. You deliberately remember a specific time you felt genuinely safe, happy, in control. Really immerse yourself in that memory. Let the feeling of it wash over you and guide you back to that state, even just for a moment.
Using memory as a tool.
Okay. Another big one is affirmation and mantra. But not just reciting words. Develop a short phrase, a mantra that truly resonates with how you want to feel. Like, I'm truly taken care of, or I respect my body. Something that feels good. Then she suggests write it down daily. Sit comfortably, take deep breaths, and really concentrate on embodying the positive feeling behind the words. It's about internalizing it.
So it's less about just thinking happy thoughts and more about cultivating an actual inner state of worthiness, of being receptive?
Exactly. And it does take consistent practice. It's about slowly, genuinely accepting you deserve happiness and trusting the universe can deliver.
Makes sense. But what happens when we look around and maybe see others getting what we want? That comparison trap kicks in, right? Imposter syndrome, envy.
Yeah. That's a huge one, especially for ambitious people. Gabby talks about seeing it all the time in her students, no matter their field. We constantly compare. We see life as this competition, this zero-sum game. And that energy, that feeling of lack and comparison, it actually lowers our vibration and pushes away what we desire. It's a tough cycle.
So how do we break free? How do we escape that cycle of envy and judgment?
She gives a really powerful two-part approach here. First, protect your desires. Basically, don't feel you have to share your big goals with everyone, especially chronic naysayers or people who might judge you. Keep them safe. Your dreams are personal. Protect that energy. Don't let external doubt creep in.
Okay, keep it sacred. What's the second part?
This is the really transformative bit. Transcend lack and comparison through positive intention. This means actively, genuinely praying for others to have more of what you yourself want.
Whoa, praying for them to get what I want.
Exactly. Celebrate their successes. Feel genuine joy for them. If you want love and your friend gets engaged, truly share her happiness. Don't let envy take root. Because that positive energy, that genuine goodwill, it puts you in a state of abundance and receptivity. It signals to the universe, yes, more of this. And Bernstein said this rapidly attracts more of what you want into your own life. But the genuineness is key. It has to be real. It creates this positive feedback loop.
That feels challenging. To genuinely celebrate someone else's win when you're feeling lack yourself. What's the block there psychologically?
The block is pure scarcity thinking. The ingrained belief that there's a limited pie, right?
Yeah.
If they get a slice, there's less for me.
Yeah, exactly.
To overcome it, you first maybe acknowledge the envy using the choose again method, notice it, forgive it. Then you consciously reframe. See their success not as something taken from you, but as proof that what you want is possible. It exists. When you genuinely celebrate it, you align yourself with the energy of that success. You're vibrating at the frequency of receiving it yourself. You shift from contraction and lack to expansion and possibility. That's how it multiplies your good fortune. You're basically saying yes to that energy.
Okay, seeing their win as evidence, not a threat. That reframes it nicely. But what about when things are genuinely tough? Not just comparison, but real hardship. It's easy to sink into self-pity or depression, which, as Gabby says, are low-vibration energies that just attract more negativity. How do we bring joy into those situations?
Yeah, that's a crucial point. And it ties into teachings like the Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale. Think of emotions on a spectrum, from low vibration like fear, grief, despair, up to high vibration like joy, love, passion, appreciation. The goal isn't always to leap from the bottom straight to the top. That's often unrealistic when you're really struggling. It's about consistently aiming to feel just a little bit better, moving in the right direction on that scale. So maybe moving from jealousy up to boredom is actually progress, or from despair up to just feeling neutral for a bit. Then maybe finding something small to feel hopeful about, or looking forward to something simple. It's about gradual upward movement.
Small steps up the ladder. So how do we do that practically?
By consciously finding joy in small things. Actively seek out little things that genuinely bring you a spark of pleasure or peace. Could be anything. Chatting with a friend, doing a puzzle, listening to music, taking a walk, reading a chapter of a book. Gabby mentioned she found joy in cooking and even started an online cooking show just for fun. Even when things feel really dark, honor where you are, Acknowledge the pain, but then make a conscious choice to do one small thing that feels slightly better. Watch a funny movie. Take a warm bath. It matters.
Okay, small joys. And then there's lifting the veil. What's that about?
Lifting the veil is about shifting your fundamental perception, breaking through the barrier we often feel exists between the physical world and the spiritual or energetic realm. It's moving from seeing things primarily through the lens of fear to seeing them through the lens of love, like wiping a foggy window clean. You learn to see in light, she says, focusing on positive thoughts, appreciating the good, seeing the potential rather than just the problems. She recommends a specific meditation for this. Find a quiet place, breathe deeply, let thoughts drift by without judgment. Just thank them and let them go, and then maybe journal about the experience. It's a practice to consciously move your focus from darkness to light, from fear to faith.
So seeking joy, honoring feelings, shifting perception, it all works together to make you more magnetic. Prioritizing joy makes your energy contagious, like you're carrying a flashlight, illuminating things. But that brings us back to the spiritual side, the idea of invisible guidance. For some, that might still feel a bit out there. What are these guides? How do we connect?
Right. And Gabby explains that spiritual guides can manifest in many ways. Angels, your own higher self, just the feeling of universal love, even departed loved ones sending signs. Their purpose, she says, is always to help realign us with positive energy, with love. She shares a really personal story from when she was 25, struggling with addiction. She prayed for a miracle and clearly heard an inner voice, her guide, say, "Get clean and you will live a life beyond your wildest dreams."
Wow.
Yeah. And she also talks about finding guidance later through things left behind by her deceased friend Lauren. Books, notes. The connection happens through practices like meditation, journaling, quieting the mind, stating your requests, and then being open to receiving intuitive hits, signs, feelings.
Okay, opening up to receive. But then comes the part that sounds, well, contradictory to how many of us live. Gabby says the secret to being a super attractor is doing less. In our hyper-productive world, how does that even work?
Yeah, it definitely sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Totally.
But it connects directly to trusting the universe, trusting that guidance, allowing life to be a co-creation. It's not about becoming passive or lazy. It's about shifting from frantic forcing to inspired, aligned action. She tells a great story about speaking at Oprah's Super Soul sessions. She was super nervous beforehand, so she consciously called upon one of her spiritual guides. She felt a connection to Wayne Dyer, who had recently passed, and she instantly felt this calming presence watch over her, allowing her to deliver her talk with flow and ease instead of pushing through with sheer nervous willpower.
So it's about releasing the struggle.
Exactly. It's accepting that you don't have to carry the entire burden yourself. Each day is a collaboration. You release the need to control every single outcome, to micromanage everything. You can actively call on your guides through meditation. A simple prayer like, "Thank you, guide of the highest truth and compassion, for revealing your presence. I welcome you now." The result, often immense relief, less anxiety. And sometimes creative solutions pop up seemingly out of nowhere, precisely because you stopped trying so hard and created space.
So the difference between doing less and just procrastinating is that feeling of alignment, of waiting for the right feeling or guidance.
Yes, procrastination often comes from fear or overwhelm. This doing less comes from trust and actively listening for inner guidance or waiting for the inspired moment while still holding the intention. It's an active surrender, not a passive avoidance.
Okay, that makes more sense. Trusting guidance, allowing, doing less forcing. So once we're in that better vibrational state, trusting guidance, how do we actually direct that energy towards specific desires? It can't just be wishing, right? There's action involved.
Absolutely. It's about taking spiritually aligned action, not just any action, but action that feels inspired, joyful, and connected to that higher guidance. Gabby figured this out when she had a strong desire to be featured in the New York Times. She mentioned it casually to a friend who worked there, but then she just kept doing her work, teaching, writing, sharing her message with joy. She didn't hound them, and 9 months later, out of the blue, the Times called her for a feature. The action was aligned. The timing unfolded naturally.
So there's a method to this aligned action.
Yes, she outlines 4 steps. First, ensure your desire is rooted in inspiration and service. Ask yourself why you want it. If the motivation is shallow or purely ego-driven, it probably won't flow. It needs to feel genuinely inspiring, maybe something that brings joy or helps others in some way. Second, believe the universe will deliver. Once your intention feels pure and service-oriented, state your desire clearly and truly trust it's possible. Third, take action at the right time. You can't force these things. Notice when action feels inspired, easy, even fun. Complete tasks with joy. Let go of the stress and judgment around them. And fourth, crucially, have patience. Manifesting isn't instant delivery. The universe is working behind the scenes, preparing you, gathering resources, aligning circumstances. You'll know you're taking spiritually aligned action because the decisions and steps tend to feel effortless, maybe even exciting. You're tuned into your emotions and seeking joy along the way, not grinding it out.
That patience piece is key, which leads perfectly to the next point, learning to relax and let the universe catch up. Gabby's own story about struggling to get pregnant for 3 years really hits this home, doesn't it? All the obsessive monitoring that's trying to force it.
It's such a powerful example. All that effort, all that control wasn't working.
Mm.
Her breakthrough only came when she shifted, when she started pray, meditate, consciously relax into faith, and let go of the outcome. And then in March 2018, she became pregnant.
So how do we know the difference between giving up hope and truly surrendering control in that trusting way? It feels like a fine line sometimes.
It is a fine line, but the feeling is different. Giving up feels like defeat, resignation, maybe bitterness. Surrendering in this context comes after you've done your aligned action, clarified your pure intention. Then you release the how and the when to that higher power, trusting the process. You're not abandoning the desire. You're releasing the anxious need to control how it unfolds.
Releasing the anxious need to control. Okay.
Yeah.
How does she suggest we practice that?
Two main things. First, be clear about your intentions and then ask for signs when making big decisions or when you need reassurance. Be open to how these signs show up. It might be repetitive numbers, noticing certain animals like butterflies, maybe overheard words, intuitive feelings, even something a child says that feels profound. The universe is creative. Second, consciously practice patience, even when frustration creeps in, and it probably will keep bringing yourself back to that place of spiritual alignment. Trust your inner wisdom. Allow things to unfold. It's an active allowing, a continued trust.
Okay, so trust the timing, look for signs, keep aligning. But what about when things do work out? When life is good, when we achieve the dream? Gabby mentions feeling fear even in her 3rd trimester when everything was seemingly perfect. How do we stop fear from sabotaging our success or pulling us out of alignment after we get what we wanted?
Ah, yes, maintaining the state. That's crucial. It's not a one-and-done thing. Bernstein emphasizes a few core practices for this ongoing alignment. Number 1, appreciate more. When you're actively appreciating, you're vibrating at a frequency that attracts more good things. You become an even stronger super attractor. She tells a story about her friend Alex, who was stuck ruminating on a bad business decision. He couldn't move forward. It was only when Gabby encouraged him to find something to appreciate about the mistake itself, what it taught him, that clarity came and a new path opened up.
Appreciate the mistake. That's tough.
It is, but powerful. And on a daily level, just appreciate the small things. Good weather, a nice conversation, tasty food. Abraham Hicks suggests literally writing down things you appreciate every single day. It shifts your focus.
Okay, appreciation.
Yeah.
What else?
Second, cultivate unwavering faith. Not blind faith, but a conscious choice. When fear pops up, because it will have a go-to mantra ready, something simple like, I choose love instead. Acknowledge the fear, don't fight it or judge yourself for it. Accept it's normal. Then use the choose again method again. Notice it, forgive it, and gently redirect your thoughts back towards love, trust, or that better feeling thought. It's a continuous practice of gentle redirection.
Gentle redirection. I like that.
And finally, to really anchor this daily, use the daily design method. Start each morning asking yourself 3 simple questions. How do I want to feel today? Who do I want to be today? And what do I want to give today? These questions set your intention right from the start. They keep your energy aligned, your mindset focused on the positive, proactive state you want to embody throughout the day.
How do I want to feel? Who do I want to be? What do I want to give? Simple but powerful. So ultimately, it really just boils down to choice, doesn't it? Every day, maybe every moment, you get to decide. You can get swept away by fear and stress, or you can consciously choose love, choose joy, choose alignment. Gabby suggests making a commitment right now, maybe even saying it aloud. I am committed to being a super attractor. So let's recap this deep dive into super attractor. We've learned that becoming one is all about consciously keeping your energy aligned with the universe, with that higher power. By choosing joy, choosing love, you operate at these high vibration energies, and that's what allows you to manifest, to attract your desires. We covered some really practical tools, the 3-step choose again method for tackling negativity.
Right, and the huge importance of actually allowing yourself to feel good, believing you're worthy.
Yeah, and moving beyond comparison by genuinely celebrating others' success.
Finding joy in the little things, lifting that veil between worlds.
Trusting invisible guidance, the surprising power of doing less forcing.
And taking that spiritually aligned action, coupled with patience.
And finally, keeping it going with daily appreciation and unwavering faith. Look, the journey to being a super attractor, it's ongoing. It's a daily practice, really, a series of conscious choices. But the power is always right there in your moment-to-moment decisions about how you want to feel and show up. So maybe think about this as we wrap up. For you listening right now, what's just one subtle shift, one small choice you can make today? What's one step you can take to move just a little bit closer to your highest vibration and start embracing the miracles that might be waiting just around the corner?